So I've been using the Lovevery Play Kit, the looker one, which is weeks 0 to 8. But on the website it actually says 0 to 12 for about 10 weeks now. And in this video, I'm going to review it for you guys. So about 2 months ago, I did an unboxing of this. If you want to check that out and see how everything comes, go ahead and click on that video up here. But let's go ahead and dive in and see what my thoughts are on this kit. So each of these kits come with this little booklet here that has a bunch of information about the items that you receive with the kit. It's pretty much an instruction manual teaching you how to use the items you got to play with your child. So inside the booklet, there's actually a roadmap on when you should introduce these toys, or at least the order of which you should introduce the toys. I'll actually go over the products in this order. So the first one on the list is our soothing blanket, which is pretty much just a colorful blanket. It's kind of thick, so I didn't really use it that often since it is kind of very hot here in Houston. I mean, last week we've actually had over 100 degrees temperature for a week straight. So it gets pretty hot. Not much use for the blanket itself. It can be used as a swaddle, but what we actually ended up using it for was kind of like a nice little backdrop from when we took our month pictures with Alistair. So the reason they include this blanket is because they say that your child is very sensitive to light. So what they suggest is use this blanket to kind of shade them in the strollers when you're kind of taking them between your car and wherever you're going, like the grocery store. As mentioned previously, we didn't use this one that much because it's so thick and it's hot in here in Houston. We had other swaddles that were used the same way. So overall, it's just a blanket. I don't think there's anything too special about it. This is not something that you would specifically get the kit for. Next, it comes with 8 card sets. There's actually considered 2 items in their kit because one side is supposed to be a simple and one side is more complex. I found these actually very helpful. Alistair loved staring at them, and we're able to get pretty good head movement using him to go left and right whenever he's laying down on a lounger. So before I got this kit, I wasn't aware that babies actually liked high contrast stuff. And actually high contrast stuff is very good for them, and that's something they can focus on, especially when they're young and they can't see very well, but the black and white contrast allows them to be able to see it. I found these cards overall very handy and helpful, and they're actually quite lightweight, so you can pretty much put them in your bag or take them anywhere you want. So speaking of taking your cards places, they actually come with 2 items that are holders for you to use the cards in specific situations. So the first one here is for the headrest in your car, so you can put it kind of in front of your baby's car seat when you're driving around town and just have them stare at it. So the cards are interchangeable, so you can just kind of flip them around if your child ever gets bored. Next is another travel holder, they call it. Basically, it's another one where you can put 4. This one is meant for you to put down on the playmat, so when you have tummy time, it allows the baby to look up and kind of stare at it. We use this quite a bit during tummy time as it was very helpful in getting Alistair to have stronger neck strength. So on back of this holder, there's actually a place for you to store the cards safely so that you don't lose them or damage them. And I highly do not suggest that you store them the way I just did, like this, because it actually damages or bends the card in the corners. So, I mean, it might not make them last as long if you want to leave them long. So as you can see here in this one, it was kind of left in there a little too long. It's now bent in the corners. Another high contrast item in this kit is this little wooden book. It has a bunch of different animals, and overall Alistair really loved this a lot. Even right in the beginning when we first got this, I started showing him right away. He was probably maybe around 2-3 weeks old when I first got the kit, and he really loved looking at these little turtles, porcupines, and everything else in here. The next item in the set is a black and white silicone rattle. The ball in the middle is removable, which is the rattle section of it, and then this is the silicone piece with white and black. Overall, this is actually very helpful. Pretty much Alistair's first toy that he put his hand on. He loved holding on to it when we put it next to him. He hasn't gotten to a stage where he reached out for stuff yet, but if we put this close enough to his hands, kind of like touching his hands, he will grab onto it and hold on to us. So allowing Alistair to hold on to this, it helps develop his hand controls, and then the sound and the way it looks is very good for him to track sight and sound. We use this a lot as kind of a way for him to turn his head left and right during tummy time as well. Alright, and the last item in the set is these black and white mittens. I gotta be honest with you guys, I haven't put these on Alistair's recently. The only time we used this was when he was a newborn, And this was really good because most Mittens were a little bit too big and it slipped off his hand easily. This one has a nice little Velcro that holds it on and it prevents him from falling off his hand, which when he was young, he had a tendency to kind of scratch his face. So these helped prevent him from scratching his face. I did catch him looking at them once in a while. Not too much because these are supposed to be one of the last items you introduce, which we should probably let Alistair use these a little bit to see if it helps him kind of discover his hands. That's what they're meant for. So overall, I think this play kit is a very good starting kit, especially for brand new parents, as it kind of puts everything into one place for you, all the toys and knowledge, so that you can not only play with your child, but also help them develop their skills at the same time. Let me know down below in the comment section if you found this review helpful, and make sure to subscribe to my channel because I actually have the next box on its way, the months 3 to 4. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss the review of that one. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and I'll catch you guys next time.